What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? Thanks for coming to the show, or stream. It's not so much a show, it's a stream show. Hope everything is well with you guys. Yeah. Cheers. Thanks for coming. I figured I'd come on and do a open night mic, if you will. Ask me any questions. Talk to you guys about what I'm going to be doing in terms of new content going forward. It should be good. Yeah. So how's the sound? Checking. Ruby. Sound good? I hope it is. Let me know. Also the video. Let me know how the video is going. Turn down my music. If you're wondering about this is my track. I built this. I built this in GarageBand, of all things. So there we go. So let's see what's going on. I'll start answering questions. So I'm just going to be answering a bunch of questions tonight. I'll jump into a few topics I want to talk about. So yeah, just give me some thumbs up, guys, if you like the stream. Yeah. So we got, I listened to it on Spotify. Currently creating my portfolio. Currently creating my portfolio while watching that podcast as needed, Stefan. Yeah, so I plan on having the podcast launch for Monday. I'm looking at different solutions, but I think the way I think I can set it up. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but the way I think I can set it up, I can have, I think my whole back catalog on YouTube will be made into podcast. I think. I'm not 100% on that one, but I think. So that's like 1,800 videos that are now public. 1,800, a little more. I actually have more than 2,000 videos on YouTube, but I've hidden a bunch of them. Yeah. So anyway, so thanks for coming to stream. Always appreciate it. This is a ruby red grape juice. I don't have my grape juice glass, so bit of a plebe tonight. All right, Gary extends his greetings to everybody. Greetings. If you're new to the channel, my name is Stefan. Some people call me Uncle Stef. Some people call me the 169-year-old nerd. And you don't want to know what my ex-girlfriends call me. Not something I could say on YouTube. Anyway, so let's go to the top. We'll jump into it. The live has begun. All right, cool. Good. What does the graph show? What graph are you referring to, man? I'm not sure what graph you're talking about. So, Ruby on Rails is an API contrasting with Node Express in Nest.js. I think the big hit on Ruby, I believe, is the fact that it is pretty dog slow at runtime. I have not, in all honesty, looked at Rails and Ruby in years and years. So I don't have a current opinion. I just make fun of Ruby because it's what I do. That being said, there are still jobs in Ruby and they're very high paying. So if it's something you like, then do it, Express and Nest. I never use Nest. I would Express and Node have much more mojo these days in Ruby. But when it comes to web development, the king architectures are Express, Java, .NET, PHP. It's right up there. Yeah. Currently creating my portfolio while watching that podcast. Okay, I got that one. The title caught me off guard. Yeah. Well, if the inspiration to take a shot at Ruby comes in, I will definitely do it. Greetings. A YouTuber I know, also podcasting, invested heavily in mic, sound, echo. Seems to be slightly different business in general. I have enough gear here, without a doubt, to be able to do podcasting. There's some basic things you need to do to process the sound, so it's a little bit easier to listen to than a YouTube stream. This mic is one of them. Compressors, de-esser, and some other tools as well. I have all that. By the way, if you're new to the channel, besides the fact I'm the 169-year-old nerd, I also have the best bokeh game in town. Bokeh is basically blurriness. Look how hand blurry. Look at how blurry that hand is. Watch this. This is high level skill here. Look out. Get in focus. There we go. Pretty good. It's 8 a.m. Saturday in India. Whoa. Welcome to the stream, dude. And happy Saturday. Dude says, hey, Steph, any cybersecurity advice you could give? Literally anything I'd appreciate. For me, I'm not, one caveat, I'm not a cybersecurity expert. That being said, I've been running servers. I ran servers for years. You know, the biggest security hole in most systems are really bad passwords, bad user passwords. So you might want to force a protocol, have a protocol to enforce really strong passwords, number one. Number two, if you're locking down your server, the best way to do it is with keys, remote keys, SSH. If you have I would get dedicated hosting, or excuse me, VPS hosting with fully supported, so that they have server people who are constantly updating the software, patching it, have everything locked down, have constant and auto instant backups. This will save you a lot of headaches. Developers should develop, and server administrators should manage the server and keep it tip top. In terms of your applications, you got, you do the usual. You scrub your all the SQL coming in. You make sure you filter out anything that could, in terms of post and query string. Yeah, post even query string, of course. Get and post responses should be filtered as well. It's all very standard stuff, not that difficult in today's environment. So let's see. Bem says, just finished 2 Java programming courses online. Everything is so logic heavy, it hurts my head. Does it get easier after learning about serverless JSP and Spring, or should I move to front end? Well, first of all, Java itself is a very heavy programming language. I did a lot of Java work, a lot of JSP, a lot of servlets. It does get a lot easier over time. Second thing is that because you're just learning this stuff, you're literally rewiring aspects of your brain physically. You're learning to think in a whole different way. So you're going to have to give your brain time to adapt to acclimatize to, there we go, the new knowledge. So I wouldn't beat yourself up. I wouldn't beat yourself up over it. It will get easier just by the fact that you are writing the code. Now, if you want to get into Java programming, understand why you want to get into Java programming. If you look below, there's a link under this video to a free webinar I give, 29-minute video webinar, and it's the Coder's Career Path, which will help you to understand how Java is positioned in terms of jobs, type of companies you work for, type of projects you'll be working on. So you can decide whether or not you want to be a Java coder, a Java developer, or maybe you want to get into Python, or maybe you want to get into JavaScript. It's hard to say. A lot of times these decisions are largely personal. By the way, guys, if you like this stream and these lives, please give me some likes. The thumb to viewership ratio is pretty down low. I would appreciate you raise it up. It's good for the Google algorithms. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Thoughts on microdosing mushrooms? Ah, yes. It's not something I've done. I know apparently they do it quite a bit in Silicon Valley to help with their creative abilities. Yes, this might be, mushrooms might be the next mind-altering substance, if you will, that could get legalized. As you know, I'm from Montreal, Canada. I think Canada is the first G7 nation to, on a federal level, to legalize weed and weed-related products across the country. The people who were against it thought the whole world was going to fall apart and there was going to be stoners, zombies walking through the streets, but it didn't happen. Nothing happened, as usual. I'm not a smoker or a toker. I'm not a midnight smoker. And I drink wine only on live streams and only in the spring and the summer. In fact, I advise against becoming overly dependent on or have your identity associated with any habits that are all encompassing, whether it be wine, whether it be alcohol, whether it be weed or shrooms or harder drugs, whether it be gambling, whether it be sex, whether it be coding. You always want to have a nice balance in life. So when in doubt, go to the middle. That's what I always say. Go to the middle. It's like Wing Chun. Wing Chun, capture the middle line. If anybody's done Wing Chun, you know about that. Center line, capture center line. Sounds good. Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me know. Sounds good. Yeah, next, I'm also in India. A couple of Indians. Sounds good to me. Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. Check. Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. Good. So one of the things, I practice what I preach. I talk about balance. So today was a nice day. And because I'm 169 years old, I have to pay special attention to my health. As you get older, especially, it becomes more and more important. So I did a big bike ride around the city, up the mountain, down the mountain. It was pretty good. I feel pretty good. That's why I'm pretty energized today, because I did that exercise. One thing you should understand, when you're a young whippersnapper nerd or aspiring nerd, you have to understand that you exercise now is like putting money in the bank, in the sense that it will, if you train well when you're younger, that early childhood training, early adulthood training will pay dividends far later in life. I'm a testament to that. I used to be a very hardcore athlete, and I trained like crazy. Besides the fact it nearly killed me at one point, literally, but besides that little glitch, I feel it today in my in the latter stages of my decrepitude. I feel the benefits of having trained quite a bit when I was younger. So if you're younger and listening, do some training. Now's the time. You'll thank yourself for doing it later on, especially. And even when you're older, do some training, but moderate training. Moderate training. Sounds Ruby. Okay, good. Hey, Stefan, I know you're probably answered this question 1,000 times. Just real quick. How many times more profitable is contracting, freelancing versus permanent? You know, that's a good question. I have answered many times. I have a course on all that, my freelance course. Check it out below. People love it. If you want to learn how to get into the game quick, learn how to run projects. So it comes down to how good you are at being able to secure work. If you can secure work at a reasonable pace, if you will, then you could easily make much more money as a contractor. Why? Because think about it this way. When somebody hires you, they have to make at least double what you cost them. So if they're paying you, I'll take an even number, $50,000 a year to start. It could be all over the place depending on where you live in the world. But anyway, I'm just using even numbers for the sake of the example. They pay you $50,000 a year. That means they have to get at least $100,000, minimum $100,000 of productivity out of you. But if you are a freelancer and you know what you're doing, you can make at least that $100,000, right? So you can at least double. On top of that, I don't know about what part of the world you live in, but at least in Canada and North America, they give a lot of tax advantages for self-employed and businesses. And so there's a lot of tax advantage in terms of being a contractor. You can, if you can deduct the cost of your computer and your mouse. For example, because I do videos and I produce video content for Studioweb and I do it on YouTube now, it's kind of a sideline thing for me. This mic, that camera, this light, that light, this computer, they're all tax deductible. So first of all, I don't have to pay the VAT, the value added tax. We call it GST, PST here up in Canada. I don't pay that. I just get it back. And number two, I get to deduct a certain percentage of the cost off of the equipment I buy. So that camera I bought cost me $15,000, just a camera. So I didn't pay the tax. I initially paid a tax, but I get the tax money back. And on top of that, I get to deduct about, give or take, about 20% of the value of the camera. So I get about $3,000 back in at the end of the day. It's not such a clean, simple line. I'm kind of simplifying the process for you. Now, in your district, your part of the world, that will vary different depending on what's going on, the different laws. But there are several advantages. So I would look into the UK. I would just look and talk to the equivalent of a bookkeeper or accountant and see what they have to say in terms of the tax laws. I think it's probably pretty favorable for you. Hey, Ken, how are you? Shout out from the Philippines. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, thanks for joining the stream. Oh, by the way, everybody, you got 79 of you, only 38 likes, so I appreciate the thumbs. This is good for the Google algorithms. Also, tell me, what part of the world are you from? So say Ken's from Philippines, or Xavi from Saudi Arabia, etc. I don't know where you're from, Xavi. It's just always interesting to know where people are watching from. I think people in the stream watch it too. If you're new to the stream, my name is Stef, and some people call me Uncle Stef. Some people call me the 169-year-old developer. Yeah, so welcome to the stream. I've been writing code for a long, long time, so I just give career advice. What's up? What's up? This is the official channel. A salute, by the way. Hey, Louise, how are you, man? Hey, Stefan, I finally got 2 junior job offers after some interviews for my first job. Hey, congratulations, dude. Very cool, man. The first will be React plus .NET Core plus AWS, but pays less. The second is Python Flask plus Google Cloud. Which one should I pick? At this point, this is your first job. I wouldn't go necessarily based on the money. I would go on where you have a better feel in terms of what company you kind of like better, where you think you might like working, and also based on the stacks you want to work on. Don't forget, you're young. You will likely move and pivot to other jobs where you can raise your salary, unless the discrepancy is huge. If it's like 5% difference, then I would go with what you like and where you got a better vibe. But if it's like a 20% difference, then, I'd probably go for the money if I were you. But that's up to you. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Savvy? How are you? Good. My doubt of the last question is because I want an opinion regarding the future also. If not that, I'd pick one with best payment. .NET is not going anywhere anytime soon. Python Flask, it's probably more niche-y. If I had to guess, Python Flask is a little bit more niche-y. So, but, guys, hold on. If you know Python Flask, for you to pivot to any of the other web stacks will be pretty easy for you, so I wouldn't be too concerned. To pivot is to be a pro developer. Remember that. As a first language, is JavaScript a good plan for an aspiring backend dev? Any tips you could give me? Well, right now, I would not be so concerned about that. I would just get my head wrapped around the whole full stack paradigm. Whether you do backend with JavaScript or Python or Java or C# or PHP, that will depend on where you live, the type of work you want to do, etc. I would just start learning the full stack and just take it from there. You can't choose a wrong path. Let me say that again. You cannot choose a wrong path except if it's Ruby. Other than that, you cannot choose a wrong path. They're all pretty good. I'm just joking about Ruby. If you want to learn the web stack, take a look at my links below. I got my courses, which are highly regarded. Read the reviews. Hey, Matthew, how are you, man? Hope everything's good. I hope you have an IPA going. I got my wine here. No, grape juice. Is this the Ruby Anonymous support group? It is. It is. It is indeed. You can hear. Can you guys hear this? Hold on. Is this good? That's it. Yeah. That's poor Ruby guys. Good evening, Stefan. I'm still focusing on my Java skills since I'm doing Android. Do you have a technique for simplifying save methods? I am not familiar with Java Android development. I have never done it, so I cannot comment on that. You may want to look at, though, Kotlin for Android development, because Google is now preferring Kotlin. But ultimately look at the job market. See for Android development if they're looking for Java-based people or Kotlin-based people. So I can't help you with that specific save method because I've never done Java Android. My experience is Java Web, Pojos. I was a Java and Python dev at a Ruby shop. My team was treated like royalty and the Ruby peeps treated like college kids. Java has gotten so much hate that it was nice to be on the other side. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, how are we doing for likes? Here we do. Do you think COVID is making it more difficult to land a first programming job? I finished college in spring 2020, found an internship for a startup, but now I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Well, how long have you been in this startup? You have to earn your stripes a little bit the first year as a developer. You have to earn your stripes, meaning you have to develop some skills. I think COVID is, I think it's going to be a big boom for software development. A boom, unforeseen before. So you're in a good space, by the way. Checking. So yeah, I want to make an announcement. Here's the official announcement. The official announcement, I'm going to be doing a simultaneous podcast. I've been looking at the various services that will make it easy. So I'd be publishing my YouTubes as podcasts to begin with, and we'll see how that goes after that. I have to look at the podcast world. I want to see if there's something called discoverability. One of the big advantages of YouTube is that YouTube is the second largest search engine. So when I publish 2 podcasts for conveniences, I put out a poll, over 1,000 people answered, and a strong minority, like 45% or so, want the podcast. So I'm going to do the podcast. So you can listen on the go. It's a little bit more easy. Some people just prefer the podcast format, and that's cool. But I want to see if any of the platforms out there, like Spotify or others, I don't know if there's others, if there's discoverability, so people can discover me on these platforms. We'll see. Excuse me. So do I think COVID affected jobs in a negative way? I don't think so. Could have, but trust me, you're just a junior. Don't worry about it. Your first year, you have plenty of money to make a ton of money soon. I've gotten 2 job offers, 1 front-end dev, 2 full-stack, and IoT dev. Pay is the same, but my specialty on front-end dev. This full-stack and a lot still new to me. Is it okay to go with 2? If you did not misrepresent your skill set, and the prospective Mohammed and the prospective employer understands that, and you want to do it, then do it. You will pick it up fairly quickly. So don't worry about it. That's why I tell people you always want to be transparent and honest about what you do, because A, it's going to create goodwill. B, you can never be caught in a lie because you always tell the truth. And C, it takes a lot of pressure off of you because you know you're just being honest, laying it out. Works in the dating game as well, by the way. So that's my recommendation. Do you think an associate's degree is enough nowadays, or is a bachelor's degree needed? Side note, web development is not my thing. It has less to do with the development types, but more to do with where and the type of businesses you want to work for. I think that the need for higher education is diminishing quickly over time, especially in the technology space. For example, Google just said publicly, very publicly, that tech degrees, college degrees for coders is not needed at all. Apple did a big report showing that amongst the Apple employees, people with the higher degrees were no better employees than people with no degrees. So it goes to what I've been teaching people for many years now. It's about portfolio and experience and reputation. So should you get a bachelor's? If you're going to go into debt, no. If you're not going to go into debt and you want to work for a very large, old school type of organization, then yes. I hope that answers that question. I compare JavaScript to Java. the same manual versus automatic transmission. Don't know if Stef agrees. I see what you're saying. No, Java is just a very large, very complex system, whereas JavaScript is relatively simple. I think that would be a better analogy. Thumbs up, people. Better listen to no alternative. All right. If you close the live chat, you will find the like button. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. Cheers, everybody. This is the official salute of the channel. Yeah. How we doing here? So I have to check one thing. I'll be back in about 15 seconds. So let me just choose what we're going to do. We'll do my ASMR video here. All right, I'm back. I just had to check something. How many developers do you think do rec drugs in the industry? I have no clue, dude. I would think it's a very small. I don't know. Vegas girl. All right. By the way, I bought Stefan's Python course about 3 years ago, and it was solid. It's worth it. Hey, I appreciate that, Vegas girl. Thanks for telling people about it. It's good. Yeah, I teach. My courses are very different from anybody else's. A, because you learn a lot. B, it's developed by their course is developed by somebody who knows how to teach. 3, I've been coding since the 90s. And 4, they're evergreen. I update them only when I need to, and I only teach the core pro level understanding of the languages and the infrastructure around the languages. If you're doing like a course on the latest version of React or Angular, yes, you have to be more sensitive about the timing of those, because the frameworks change often enough, the libraries change often enough, but the underlying languages and the underlying infrastructure around the languages, whether it be JavaScript, Python, HTML, CSS, PHP, they don't change much. They're pretty stable. So there you go. Good morning. Thanks for the live stream, Stef. Always great info from California. Hey, thanks, Devin. Yeah. Let me know where you guys are coming in. Good morning. Lamthrami. I don't know. Okay. Can you use Flask to make big apps? The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm not a fan of Django. I don't know. I never used Flask, so I couldn't say, but I get the impression that it's not necessarily designed for that. But it might be plenty big and powerful enough for your app. How much can you bench, bro? Oh, I was gonna I won't make that joke. I won't make that joke. I just got my first job as a developer. Thanks for all your video stuff. Hey, man, fantastic! Congratulations. I see more and more people on the live stream. They're developers or becoming developers, getting jobs, starting businesses. That's cool. I did a poll on YouTube about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, something like that. And almost 4,000 people answered that poll. And 80% of the people said they are coders, whether, where they felt comfortable writing web apps, or very, very experienced developers. 80%. So the vast majority of the audience are actually pretty well along with their skills. That's good. Hey, Kevin, how are you? Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Very cool. It's all Python code, same thing, different methods doing things. All right, yeah. 4 a.m. here in the UK. You're up late, Jez. How are you? Is there alternatives to Netlify for hosting my portfolio? Great content. Keep it up. Well, there's plenty of hosting options for you. I don't know what the specific advantage Netlify brings to you, but there's plenty of options. Can I double that with Ruby on Rails? Hey, Stefan, are you planning to start streaming on Twitch? No, I haven't. I haven't thought about that very much, so I don't have any immediate plans. That's the biggest video live streaming platform on the web. You can make a lot of money on it. Well, maybe it was a video game guy or something, you know. But I don't think that would be great for me. Maybe, I don't know. My next move though is podcast. By the way, I do have a Discord channel. It's got over 1,000 members, maybe 2 weeks old. Take a look below. You can find a link. Join the Discord. There's people on there now, I'm sure. Just look below this channel, Discord, you know. Damn, bro, you spent 15K on a camera. Yeah, well, 15 Canadian dollars. So it's about 10,000 USD. The camera body, a little bit too much. I went a little overboard there. Remember to drop a like for the 169-year-old dev. Hey, right. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Petit. I appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, do drop a like if you guys like the stream. Vegas Girl, tell us about the time you were prescribed steroids and how it helped with your martial arts. I am not accusing you of anything because this prescription was legitimate, but it was an interesting story. Wow, you've been listening for a while. Okay, so time for story time with Boca Stef. So many eons ago, first of all, I started training in martial arts when I was 10 years old, approximately. And I started with judo, then Japanese karate, and then I did taekwondo, then kyokushin, then catch kembo. I'm a black belt in that. The Chun-Fa method. Thai boxing a bit, boxing, wrestling, aikido, judo. I may have said that. Yeah, I said judo. And other styles as well. Silat, Wing Chun. Anyway, I did a lot of martial arts over the years. I was a bouncer, did a lot of bouncing. And at one point, I was considering maybe becoming a competitive professional fighter. But before that could ever materialize into anything, I got a blood disease that almost killed me. And so part of the treatment was to put me on some heavy doses of steroids. Heavy doses of steroids, danazol, prenazol, off the charts. And I won't get into more, I was in the hospital twice a week. So for the first little while after I got sick, I still kept doing the non-contact training of my martial arts, the form training and so forth. And what we were doing, we would film each other to do the solo sets. We'd film each other doing the sets, the kicks and everything. So it's on tape even. It's a long old tape. I have it somewhere. Where every week we would come and train, and my training partners, we'd all film each other just so we can gauge each other's progress and critique each other's movement. Nothing like seeing yourself on camera to judge your performance. Anyhow, so I was on a huge amount of steroids, and my doctor explained to me that the steroids were kind of like, they increased your body's capacity for healing like 1,000-fold. So I would train and we do our sets, and then the following week we do the same sets all on video. And you can hear the cameraman going, oh my God, it's like Stef's been training for 6 months. So within a week, I had huge gains in terms of my abilities, because what would happen, my body would heal so quickly because of the steroids that I could keep training harder and harder and harder, and I would make these gains. And anybody who trains a lot knows that when your body hits a new level of performance, if you will, it remembers that. So even if you come off the steroids, you still retain a lot of those gains permanently. Yeah, some crazy stuff. So one thing I remember I was doing the splits, and I got down to, maybe 2 fists away from a full split, right? Between my legs down to the floor. So I started bouncing on my legs like this, right? So I started bouncing. I remember doing this. And then I would hear popping, pop, 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 my hips and my tendons. And I just went full split in like 20 minutes. And then you figure, oh boy, you're going to be in real pain the next day. Next day, it was like nothing happened. So that's what the steroids did. And one of the jokes I used to make about people in terms of how effective steroids were, I used to say, you give my 90-year-old grandmother a bunch of steroids and she could be a top 10 fighter. So when I hear about these professional fighters and these athletes get caught doing steroids and they're only suspended, I think if you're really interested in fairness, you should ban them for life, because it literally, I know from personal experience that they have a lifelong, permanent impact and very positive impact. So if they're caught doing steroids, if you want a level playing field, if they're caught once, out for life, finished, because they've gotten this advantage for the rest of their lives. So there you go. There's my that's Vegas girl. That's my little story about steroids. So yeah, it did up my game quite a bit. You shooting movies or what with that camera? I'm shooting live streams with that camera. I now live in Texas. Ah, very cool. What part of Texas do you live, Vegas girl? Jose, Portugal. Ohio. I have places in San Antonio, San Antone. There is my like. I appreciate it. Salut de California, brother. Hey, Monsieur Louis. Oh, thanks for joining the stream. How are we doing here for time? 40 minutes. Wow, time flies. Chicago. I used to have regards from New Zealand. Very cool, Ivan. North Baja, Canada. Very specific there. Australia, San Francisco. Nebraska, Margaret from Nebraska. Hey, welcome to the stream. Jay from Louisiana, from Chile. Wilfredo, greetings from Panama. Very cool. Kender from Colombia. Very nice. Bali, Moch from Bali. Greetings from the Philippines. Yeah. Ethan J, thank you. Is Ruby dying? I think it's slowly in decline. Very slow decline. Yeah. SJ. Yes, I'm finishing up PHP, noticing more difficulties with backend than front end. Just need more practice. Exactly. Thanks, coach. Amazing value compared to my college experience. I'm glad I could help. Keep me informed. I'm much older than anybody around here, being I'm 169. So I'm just passing down my knowledge down to you guys. I'm just passing down my experience and knowledge as a developer. All seriousness, I started writing code in 1994, so worked on all manner of projects. So I'm just passing down my real world experience. I'm glad I can help. So do you code anymore, or you just act like a CEO of your business now? I hardly ever code anymore. I just experiment with a few things. Once every blue moon, I'll do a code inspection. I do architecture to a little bit if I'm doing something new, but we have mature code bases now, so I don't have to do that. If so, do you still make architectural decisions? I do all the time. Or do you leave those up to lead developers? I will make architectural decisions. Again, I haven't had to in a while now because our code base is pretty mature. I try to surround myself with people who understand how to do things properly. And once I know that they do, I take it out of their hands. If you want freedom, if you want to do different things in life, you want to grow a business, you have to let go of things. At one point in your life as a developer, you have to decide if you want to go into management and managing people and have more of a macro view of things, or if you want to stay a coder. They're both worthy and respectable choices. Still many jobs for Ruby. There is. Hey, Ruby trap, booby trap. All right. Hey, Stefan, would you recommend trying out multiple APIs such as Vulkan, DirectX to find out what I like better, or should I stick to one and try learning? I would learn one, and when you're able to do something with Vulkan, as an example, DirectX, a few operations, you're kind of comfortable with it, then that will give you the ability to assess the other APIs more effectively. Yeah. As someone As someone that learned how to read Ruby, I must agree with this. No go with the job. You have built 3 full apps this week. All right, so you're making progress, dude. That's great. It's coming close. I think we have a live this weekend, right? On Sunday? Yeah, we have a 1 o'clock, yeah. Still many job for Ruby. Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, Steph, how is the stream? It's pretty good, Bailey. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. There you go. Okay. I used to think C# is more robust than Java, but damn, Java's anonymous classes are 100 times better than anything in C#. Oh, there you go. There you go. I haven't looked at what's going on in the Java C# world in a little while, so I don't have any comments on that. Do you think it's normal for, excuse me, let me try that again. Do you think is normal some difficult landing first opportunity as a senior developer being just 24 years old working for about 4 years in the industry? Yeah, senior developers need more than just coding ability, communication skills, the ability to handle yourself in a certain way. So just keep working at it, man. You're still quite young. Do you believe it is possible to be full stack developer and be really good at both front end and back? Depends on you, man. Depends on you. Some people can do that. Some people are better at being specialized. Personally, I was full stack. I had pretty good skill on both front and back, but there were people who were much better than me in back end, and there were people much better than me in front end. I was kind of a generalist full stack developer. You just got to figure out what fits for you. They're all very worthy positions. What kind of food do you eat every day, Stefan? Depends on how I feel. Zevi, I am trying to cut down my sugar and carbs. That's a general rule for me. Whether it be soft drinks or that's why I don't drink much wine or beer, because it's basically full of carbs. I try to stick to unprocessed foods as much as possible, but like everybody else, I cheat. I do like eating meat, although I feel a certain moral pang against that. But as I say to people, I say, if the cows could eat you, they would. But I look forward to the day when we can grow synthetic meat and not have to farm animals. Steph, I'm currently completing my certificate program at community college for front-end dev. Congratulations, good work. I would likely take a pay cut when switching field. Good idea to continue learning or take the cut and jump in. It depends. It depends on what type of job, Devin, you're looking to get. Do my CODER'S career path webinar below, link below. It's free, and it will help you understand the implications of that. I think it will help you a little bit. Hello, yo. How would you go about finding new grad jobs? How would you go about finding new grad jobs? I know what you mean by a new graduate. You mean a good job for a new graduate? I talk about that. Check out my previous streams. I talk about that all the time. I wanted to start freelancing and stop working in a company. Finally found a long-term job in Upwork. My boss is sad about me leaving team. Thanks for all the freelance tips, Steph. Hey, congratulations, dude. Good stuff. Yeah, leave on good terms, though. Leave on good terms. Say, thanks for the opportunity. I liked working here, but I want to explore my freelancing opportunities just in case you know they could become a client of yours. You know. So, any thoughts about live coding X take-home assignments during interviews? I don't know. I never did that. I could assess the ability of a developer without having to do that, just by asking some questions, having a conversation with somebody. You know, if you want to work there, you're going to have to deal with it. What languages are you meant to know before going for software engineering jobs? Depends on the company. It's more about your general understanding of development. You got to understand, guys, as professional developers, the languages are almost secondary. I know that seems contradictory for a lot of people, but I'll say it again. The languages are almost secondary. What really counts is your ability to understand code, to understand the development process, to be able to communicate with people effectively. Yeah, that's really the game. So if you look below, you can find links to various trainings that I do, including my mentoring program. I was talking to somebody in a consult. By the way, if you're looking at boot camps, you're looking at college, you're looking at getting into development, and if you think that training under somebody who's been in the development game for 25 years would be beneficial, check below, check out my mentoring. You can book a private consult with me if you're interested in my mentoring program. It's kind of my boot camp, and yeah, people really love it. And I'm talking to people who spent $12,000, $10,000, $20,000, $15,000 US dollars. And frankly, I think you get better training with me. So check it out, and it's for a fraction of the cost. You are a mature guy. Instead of coding, you should hire coders and do billion-dollar business company stuff. I appreciate that, Khalil. One of my students, he should come on soon. He co-founded a company, and it's getting into those big numbers like that. Is Laravel Nova any better? I don't know. I haven't looked at Nova, so I couldn't say. Laravel is dope. Laravel is one of the best MVC frameworks I've ever seen, period. It makes PHP for the enterprise and for serious application development a serious game. I had a full stack app that has no tests written whatsoever. What would be the most valuable test to write first? Any crucial functionality that are key to the system, anything that is pretty immutable in terms of that. You don't want to be writing use tests for aspects of your application that might change in terms of its behavior. You want to sort of stick to the core things and the most important things. So I would prioritize on that. Number one, things that are used most often by the user, those functionalities. And number two, any functionality that are core, like are solid core, immutable aspects of the code base. Because you don't want to be writing tests and then have to rewrite tests, and you don't want to do that. I always tell people you write tests after you've completed your MVP, your minimum viable product. You want to write tests on a mature code base. That's my belief. Other people might think otherwise. I've been thoroughly enjoying the Discord. I have too much free time. That's cool. Glad you like it. Yeah, by the way, I do have a Discord. I set it up for you guys. People are asking me to set it up. I pop in once in a while, but it's its own community. So if you're interested in Discord, you want to be able to interact with other developer types, we got good mods and good super mods there. It'll keep the place cool. And check it out below. Discord is below. Let's see what's going on with the Discord now. Hold on. Here it is. We'll get into the lounge. Anybody join? And nobody joined today, but we have 130 people online. Yeah. So let's check that out. So yeah, you can check it out. Link below if you're interested in the Discord. Let's go on. Let's go. Watching from Cincinnati, Ohio. I drove by Cincinnati once. I was coming through not Boston, but that city in New York. I forget what it's called. Anyway, went through there, went through Ohio, beside the Great Lakes, passed by Cleveland, on my way to Michigan, and then eventually Chicago. Yeah. Buffalo, New York. I crossed the border at Buffalo, New York. Hey, Stef, I've been asking around on many online forums if a young teen can freelance, but everyone says I should finish school first because I cannot sign contracts. What do you think? I'm not sure how old you are. That's interesting. I don't know what part of the world you're in. And I'm not sure what the legal ramifications. You may want to talk to a bookkeeper, but I would say do what you need to do to be able to go out there and start getting some real world coding experience. So I encourage you to do it. Just figure it out. I think the contract signing thing is a minor hurdle you would be able to, you know, to be able to, you know, get around. There we go. Woo. Dallas, Texas. There we go. Okay. Hi, Stefan. What did I miss? You missed so much, man. I discovered, I discussed the secrets of the universe. You missed it. You have to tune in next time. In my experience as a former rugby player and a former weightlifter, I came across many, many others using steroids. Indeed. I only ever did ECA stack, and it was pretty damn crazy effective, I gotta say. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. One of my cousins got into one of the big universities in the US to play football. And he said they're all on steroids. Couldn't believe it. They're all on steroids. So it was hard to compete when everybody's on steroids. 5 a.m. in Germany. Hey, Tony, how are you, man? Looking good as always, Stef. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream. Hello from Brazil. All these years being a developer, never learned regex. Regex, superpower. But after seeing the solution for a problem on CODER'S, I've seen the light. It'll be my next to-do next coming weeks or months. Yeah, regex is, Jason, is a one of those meta programming skills, I guess I can characterize it, that I would do. Well, I know it. But something, if you don't write it often, you forget it. I have a question. I'm in college now, and I just feel like my classes aren't teaching me anything. Just reading and little to no projects. With your classes, will be enough trained to land a job. Yeah. Just go to Google and type in Studioweb and Studioweb Montreal or Studioweb Stefan, and you can read the reviews. Well over 100 reviews on there from people, and lots of people have gotten jobs. So yeah, Craig, with my mentoring program, you have enough skills to get a job, no question. Thanks a ton. I will check the links below. I've taken a few of your courses, very well laid out and worth the time. I appreciate that. Thank you, Devan. Hey, Daniel, how are you, man? Bonjour, Stéphane, he says. How useful do you find SQL as a tool for a dev? Super useful. I think SQL is one of the key languages you should learn. Definitely. And database tonight. I appreciate the sticker. Danielle's paying for part of my coffee tomorrow. Appreciate it. I think it's regional. I don't think Python Django is going to take over the universe, but there's still lots of jobs in Python. I would just look around on Indeed, see what the job opportunities are in Dallas, and maybe talk to Matthew. Matthew's on the stream right now. He's doing work with Python. So there's definitely value there. I'm having such a hard time resolving memory leak issues in Node. Really? In Node? I can't find a way to monitor all local variables and identify the sources of the leak. Yeah, that's a difficult thing. I'm surprised that you get memory leak issues there. That's interesting. I haven't looked at Node in a few years, so I don't have much to say about that. Good luck with that, man. What I would try to do is maybe refactor your code a little bit. Refactor your code. Refactoring is the process of cleaning up your code. So maybe refactoring your code might help you isolate your leaking issues. Do you have any God methods in there? You know, you have any too many ifs and else? You know, too many conditionals. You may want to look at that. That could help you. So cut up your code into smaller chunks, and that will help. Best place to see good developers code. I would look at a framework. I would find, if you're in the web stack, I would look at pull down one of the big frameworks, whether it be Django or Flask or PHP Laravel, whatever, Java Swing, and you can look at those code bases and you will see some of the better code bases out there because they've been proven and refined by many people. Is it true Kotlin is doing away with Java? Well, at least with Android development, Google has said, go to Kotlin first. But I don't see Java going away anytime soon. I'm a bit late to this Ruby roasting session. What's your advice for backups? I would just use a VPS. I assume you're talking about servers, right? I would use VPS. I now use I went from having my own dedicated servers, my own dedicated lines. Did that for years in the 90s. Then I went to private co-location servers, physical boxes that I owned sitting on somebody else's pipeline backbone. And then I started renting their boxes, so they did the maintenance on their boxes, physical servers. I also did traditional shared hosting as well. And then after the physical servers, I went to VPS, virtual private servers. That's the best way to go. Cloud-based hosting. By far, don't waste your time with other types of hosting if I were you. Why? Because one of the big advantages of a good VPS technology is they do automatic backups right down to the minute. And I could tell them back up this database table at this timestamp, and they'll be able to go click and restore. Fantastic. So yeah, that's how I would manage your backups. Go to a VPS. Yeah. There you go. Good morning from Nepal. Hey, very cool, Rajan. Thanks for joining the stream. That's far, man. That's cool. What do you think about Flutter? I think last time I looked at it, it looked like a really good technology. Hey, Hunter. Hunter's asking for the double guns. Double guns. Boom. Yeah, you got to be able to do double guns if you're an advanced developer. I want to ask, have you a project in mind? How will you start, and how will you, what things you learn need before starting? All right. What things you need to learn before starting? You have to learn, the basics of software development. I teach the web stack mostly because I think it's the most flexible. You learn this stuff first. You can get, with my courses, for example, you can get your head wrapped around it within a couple months. Then you will have what I call the nerd eyes, the ability to assess the landscape. And then you will be able to make good decisions about a project you may have in mind. That's how I would, that's what I would suggest. That's what I would suggest. Will TypeScript take over the JS world? I don't think so. I saw a thread on Reddit between two groups, one rooting for React.js and the other for Vue.js. The Vue guys believe React will soon be obsolete very soon. I don't know. I looked at React and Vue and Angular, and I like Vue the best. People know that a couple of years back or longer. Hello from Tunisia. It's my 5 a.m. and I want to thank you for the incredible effort you're doing for the community. I also wanted to ask, Vue Nuxt.js is a good way for front-end companies. I haven't used Nuxt. I like Vue. So I don't have an opinion on Nuxt. But yeah, thanks for joining the stream, Turkey. Appreciate it. Tunisia. I've been applying for software engineering jobs and getting rejections. I don't have a degree. I know the MERN stack, LAMP stack, and I also do mobile dev. I'm new to the United States. What am I doing wrong? Do you have a portfolio of real projects have you done for companies? That's the key. If you don't have a portfolio of real projects, I'm not talking about tutorials you did online. I'm talking real projects for small local business, nonprofit. You have to show prospective employers that you've done real projects for real people. And that's, I don't know what you've done. Make sure your resume is clean. Your English seems to be pretty good. So I couldn't say beyond that without knowing any more details. Hey, what to learn after Java Basics? Build something. Just like with martial arts, you want to get in the ring. You want to start doing the real thing as quickly as possible. How we do for time? Oh, over an hour. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Writing 1,000 lines of code daily makes you a good developer. Well, it helps you get there. It will help you get there. Hey, Ryan, how are you, man? Hey, Stef, Ryan from the mentoring group. Hey, welcome to the stream, dude. We have a session, a Zoom meeting this Sunday, I believe. I think we do. I have to check. Do you think Shopify has strong future great money? I'm thinking of building my career around it. Yeah, Shopify is not going anywhere. It's $1 billion business, and I think it's growing. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, you could probably do well with it. There's no question. No question. What's up, Lizard fam? How are you? Lizard Wizard. Link below. The most profound training you will get your entire life. Lizard Wizard. Number 1. Check it out. All right, Vegas. I'm 48-year-old and I don't have any pro experience with web development. I did 4 years off of websites I made myself, but I can't get an interview. Realistically, should I quit? No interviews. What you need to do, Vegas girl, is reach out to local small business nonprofits and offer to build something for them or to help them update their site for free. If you do that, you will be able to land jobs more easily. I don't know what you've done or not done, so it's hard for me to say. But there you go. Cheers. Hey. All right, Gary. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks. How long did it take you to master? Oh, I did it. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I came out of the womb like this. No, I do. Okay. But no, I've been doing this since I was a kid. It's cool. Hello from Brazil, Stefan. Hey, how are you, man? I started programming early this year, and your videos helped me a lot to understand the difference between languages. Thanks a lot. Quick question, Star Wars or Star Trek? I have to say, I think I prefer Star Trek. They're both great. I enjoy it both, but I think I'm leaning towards Star Trek. Yeah, just because it's got a lot more material there. That being said, I haven't watched any of the new stuff in the Star Wars universe. I couldn't say. No problem. Thanks, Ahmed. Thank you so much for your time, man. Appreciate it. No worries. Take care, guys. Take care. If you want to continue the discussion after this, join the Discord link below. If you're interested in my bootcamp, my mentoring, link below. You can set up a private consult with me to ask questions about the program, see if it fits for you or not. And I also have my solo learn courses if you want. I know PHP and JS. What industry or service should I aim for? I don't know. Depends on your area, man. What is the best way to share secrets, e.g. environment variables, with your developer team? What do you mean? I'm not sure. You got to give me a bit more context there. I'm 18 years old without a degree. Do you think I should get a degree before applying for jobs? Not necessarily. It depends if it depends on your country. I don't know how important degrees are, but you can apply. If you have skills to show, you have skills to show. That's the key. So it's very country specific. All right, guys. That's it for tonight's stream. We'll talk soon. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next time. Have a great evening, guys. And again, check it. Links below. There's free webinars. Learn about my mentoring program. Book a live session if you're interested in potentially doing that kind of bootcamp training with me. And that's about it. Cheers, cheers.